Free will is a lie your brain tells you after the fact. 7 seconds ago, you decided to keep watching this video, except you didn't. Your brain made that decision 7 seconds before you felt yourself make it. You experienced the choice, you did not make it. And the experiment that proved this has been sitting in the neuroscience literature since 1983. Most people assume the answer to free will is philosophical, a question for monks and professors. But this isn't philosophy. This is a machine watching your brain decide things before you do. In 1983, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet sat a volunteer down in a chair, attached electrodes to their scalp and asked them to do one thing: move their wrist whenever they felt like it. Before the volunteer felt any urge to move, the brain was already preparing. A wave of electrical activity Libet called the readiness potential was building in the motor cortex. It started on average 550 milliseconds before the wrist moved. The volunteers reported feeling the intention to move only 200 milliseconds before the movement. The decision was already in motion before the person making it knew it existed. Libet called it the most disturbing finding of his career. He was right to be disturbed. Then came 2008. Researchers at the Max Planck Institute in Leipzig put volunteers inside an fMRI scanner and asked them to press one of two buttons, left or right. They could predict the outcome up to 7 seconds before the person pressed it. With 71% accuracy, the choice that felt free, felt spontaneous, felt entirely yours, was already written in your brain activity. The conscious mind might be the last to know about its own decisions. Not the author, the audience. But Libet himself didn't believe his own data meant what everyone thought it meant. He noticed something the headlines always missed. There was a gap, a small one, about 200 milliseconds. In that window, Libet found that volunteers could still stop the movement. They could veto it. The brain had started the engine, but someone could still turn the key back, not the gas pedal, the brake. You are not the author of your impulses. They arise from somewhere below the level of your awareness. Shaped by genetics and memory and the coffee you had this morning. The moment between the impulse and the action, that narrow strip of time, that's the only place Libet could find a you. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio spent decades studying patients with damage to the prefrontal cortex. These patients could reason perfectly. They could analyze options, but they couldn't decide. Their emotional response to outcomes had been severed. Every decision you make is emotionally pre-tagged. Your brain scans your options, and your body responds before your mind has consciously weighed anything. You experience this as intuition, as gut feeling, as just knowing. Your brain was completing the calculation before you saw the problem. Your brain generates impulses you didn't choose. It pre-selects decisions before you feel yourself deciding. The you that you experience, or the one reading these words right now, is downstream from all of it. Receiving the output, rarely writing the code. The brain below your awareness starts the engine, but you are the one driving. The brain below your awareness starts the engine, but you are the one driving. Every impulse you noticed and chose not to follow. Every moment you caught yourself mid-decision and paused. That pause is not nothing. That pause might be everything. Libet died in 2007 still arguing about his own experiment. The neuroscience is real. The readiness potential is real. The 7-second prediction window is real. And the question of what that leaves you with is still open. You have already made most of your decisions, but you are here, reading this in the gap. And the gap is still yours.